Marcus Smart is doing things at guard that the Lakers haven't seen in decades. No, literally. Marcus Smart's 7 steals versus the Charlotte Hornets the other night is the most amount of steals by a Lakers guard since 2015, when Lou Williams randomly did it. And Smart's 7 steals weren't of the lucky ball just bounced into his hands variety either. This dude was literally flying all around the court, jumping passing lanes, putting his body on the line, rugby ripping the ball out of dudes' hands then slinging it the other way. Smart's 7 steals were legitimate Ocean's 11 style thievery of the highest order. And on the year, Marcus Smart now ranks 3rd in the entire NBA in steals per game, averaging 2.3 steals a game, right behind notable swipers like Dyson Daniels and Cason Wallace. And even if you expand that out to total steals, Marcus Smart ranks 4th in total steals accumulated this season with 21, despite playing the least amount of games out of anyone in the top 5. And in general, we haven't seen this type of intensity and freneticness on the defensive end of the floor from a Lakers guard since Alex Caruso. But even beyond the expert ball hawking stats, Marcus Smart's impact on the Lakers this year has been felt in more ways than one. Because every time he's entered the game, it's been a huge positive for the Lakers. In fact, on the season, Marcus Smart is 2nd on the team in cumulative plus-minus with a +61, just behind Austin Reeves. And apart from his defensive prowess, in the last 5 games, Marcus Smart has also stepped up more as a playmaking point guard in Luka and Reeves' respective absences, averaging nearly 4.4 assists per game and really showcasing his quirky, creative passing flair, and his ability to get teammates the ball in the most unorthodox of manners. But beyond all of the stats, for anyone who's actually watched the Lakers this season, you would know Smart's impact on the court has gone well beyond the box score. From the sheer physicality and bulldog scrappiness that he's brought every single night, to his relentless motor and frenetic energy that simply can't be contained, to his leadership and communication both on and off the court. Marcus Smart has been the exact type of strong-willed, never back down, vocal enforcer that the Lakers have needed for a very long time. And if he can just stay healthy, might we be seeing the reemergence of the Defensive Player of the Year version of Marcus Smart from a few years ago? So like this video, comment down below, and please hit subscribe, and let's talk more about the Lakers' smartest signing of the offseason. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and how good has Marcus Smart been this season? And what a breath of competitive fresh air he's been overall. But what if I told you that Marcus Smart may have a revenge/redemption story and tour that may rival even Luka Doncic's revenge tour against Nico Harrison, who just got fired, and the Dallas Mavericks? I know, that's kind of crazy to believe, but hear me out. Because entering his 12th season, one of the chippiest players in the NBA is playing with the biggest chip on his shoulder, and the Lakers stand to benefit the most out of it. As you guys know, against the Charlotte Hornets, Marcus Smart put up one hell of a stat line. He had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, a ridiculous 7 steals. I think last night's game was sort of an encapsulation of what Marcus Smart has been doing this entire season. The dude looks good. The dude looks strong. He looks motivated. And so far, apart from sitting one back-to-back, he looks pretty healthy. And I think Marcus Smart, and you can see it from how he's acted from the moment that he signed his Lakers contract, how much life he all of a sudden has seemingly had, the pep in his step, the smile on his face. This dude seems like a renewed man. And if you remember, the moment he signed his Lakers contract, we could not get away from seeing a picture of Marcus Smart in his Lakers gear. This dude was so happy to be a Laker. And I bring it back to that thought of Marcus Smart possibly having the better revenge slash redemption story than Luka Doncic. I'm being a little bit hyperbolic, but let's quickly look at Marcus Smart's case for the best potential revenge story slash redemption tour this year for the Lakers. Because Marcus Smart was drafted by the Lakers' greatest rival, the Boston Celtics, back in 2013, I believe. And the Celtics drafted him one spot before the Lakers were picking that year. They drafted him sixth. The Lakers drafted Julius Randle seventh. One pick apart, and Marcus Smart could have always been a Laker. And he mentioned it in his introductory press conference, how for him signing with the Lakers is sort of this full circle moment, but he always felt like he maybe should have been here. I'm not sure if I'm misquoting him, but that was kind of the vibe that I got. But anyways, the Boston Celtics drafted Marcus Smart with the sixth pick. And for 9 years, they groomed and developed him into the player that he became known for. He won Defensive Player of the Year with the Boston Celtics. They made it to multiple playoff runs and got super, super close. And then after those 9 years, they trade him away. They get Drew Holiday right when they were on the cusp. And not only right when they were on the cusp, but think about this. The first year that Marcus Smart was traded away from the Celtics to the Memphis Grizzlies, the Celtics ended up winning the championship that year. Can you imagine how that must have felt for Marcus Smart, who had been grinding it out with the Celtics for 9 years with that same core, who knew that organization inside out? The first year he's gone, they win the championship. Talk about a from the outside looking in moment. Talk about that meme where Gabe from The Office is looking out the window as it's raining moment. To build with the Celtics for 9 years, have your whole career established with them, to win Defensive Player of the Year with the Celtics, and then only to get unceremoniously shipped out, only to then watch your teammates win a ring while you have your worst and most injury-riddled season with the Memphis Grizzlies the next 2 years. What a punch in the gut for Marcus Smart. And yeah, on top of that, the last 2 years, ever since being traded away from the Celtics, Marcus Smart hasn't been in a competitive situation. The Grizzlies have been all over the place. He's been injured. They've been injured. He hasn't been to the playoffs since he was traded from the Celtics. So this opportunity for him with Luka Doncic, with the Lakers, he's been chomping at the bit to get back to that playoff stage. And right now with the Lakers 8-3, this is the first time in Marcus Smart's last 3 years that he's been on a winning team. And how poetic is it that it's with the Lakers as they try to tie the Celtics in most championships in the NBA at 18. So how much more full circle and poetic would it be for Marcus Smart to inevitably win a championship, not with the mean green Boston Celtics, but with the purple and gold Lakers? 12 years after he was selected, one spot before the Lakers pick at number 7. So that's why I'm saying that I think Marcus Smart has a good case, at least for this one season, to upstand Luka Doncic in the revenge tour story. Luka Doncic will ultimately win it because, the way that the Dallas Mavericks are floundering after his departure is unparalleled. But I think at least for this one season, and especially if Marcus Smart is able to win a championship with the Lakers, Marcus Smart may have the case for best revenge tour story of the year. But who cares about narratives at this point? I'm just saying the life and vigor and fight that Marcus Smart has been playing with early on in this season, you can tell that he understands the opportunity in front of him. And you can tell that he's playing with such a big chip on his shoulder because of how unceremoniously he exited the Boston situation, because of how long it's been that he's been in a competitive situation. And his presence to this team has been so huge. We talk about the stats, how he's, third in the league in steals per game, fourth in the league in total steals. On the year, his stats are okay. 10 points per game, 2.2 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists per game, 2.3 steals. On pretty poor percentages, 41%, 26%, although I imagine that'll rise as he gets more reps. 92% from the stripe is pretty good. He's doing this in 28 minutes, which actually for a player who plays as hard as he does, that seems like the upper end of things, but obviously we're missing LeBron. But so far, Marcus Smart has been everything the Lakers have needed from a intensity, fire, competitive fire, and motor perspective. I mean, Marcus Smart, every time he stepped onto the court this season, and it's reflected in the fact that he is second in the Lakers in total cumulative plus minus behind just Austin Reeves. Every time he stepped on the court, the energy of the game has shifted. The defensive intensity has ratcheted up. And you know that the infectious motor that Marcus Smart has brought, that is invaluable in and of itself, because the Lakers would not have been able to take on such a wild card like DeAndre Ayton, who has been notorious for being inconsistent in his motor, for his motor waning and fleeting. The Lakers would not have been able to take on a question mark like DeAndre Ayton without having a guy like Marcus Smart to keep him constantly in check in the locker room. And the same goes, like, to a lesser extent for a guy like Rui, who, while he has been a sponge who has grown each and every year, he's the type of guy whose motor also wanes. So the fact that we can have Marcus Smart always there, sort of getting on top of the guys, making sure that they bring that fight. And I know, the whole team kind of tanked against Atlanta, but for the most part, Marcus Smart has been there to really reinvigorate and bring the group together in more ways than one. And it's just so infectious. The physicality, especially when he's out there with that all defensive unit of Jared Vanderbilt, Jake LaRavia, Jackson Hayes, the freneticness and movement and bulldog fight that they bring out on the court on the defensive end, and the scrappiness, getting to 50-50 balls, the hustle. Again, we haven't had this type of defensive captainship since a guy like Alex Caruso, at least at the guard spot. And so to see this coming out of this 6'3" bulldog guy in Marcus Smart has been invaluable to the Lakers. And then even off the court, his leadership in the locker room and his presence has been so refreshing. The way that he has bolstered and lifted dudes up, from praising and guiding the super young dudes like Bronny James and Nick Smith Jr., I have no doubt that those dudes were ready to play when called upon because of veterans like Marcus Smart guiding them, mentoring them, to him keeping some of the up-and-comers like Jake LaRavia in check and making sure that he continues to progress. I mean, Marcus Smart has been a godsend to this Lakers team. I know that sounds hyperbolic, but even if he didn't step out onto the court, just the way that he's been so on the court, he's been kind of crazy, for better or for worse. He's been kind of a wild card with regards to some of the charges that he takes, some of the arm bars that he locks guys into. It can go 50-50 any one way. But from a locker room leadership perspective, this is the exact type of guy that JJ Redick needed along his side. This is the exact type of guy that the Lakers needed in LeBron James' absence, and as Luka Doncic continues to sort of flex his muscles as a leader. Because so far, Luka's sort of like a quiet guy, and Marcus Smart is, for better or for worse, always going to be vocal, always going to have his voice be heard. And yeah, I can't say enough about what Marcus Smart has meant to this team. And I really hope that he stays healthy, because so far he's sort of been firing on all cylinders, from the defensive stats to the actual defensive eye test tape, him just diving on the floor, flying out of nowhere to get a pass, ripping balls clean off dudes' arms. I mean, he's been everywhere, and I think that's rubbed off on all the other Lakers as well. Anyways, I'll stop rambling. All that to say, Marcus Smart, revenge tour, redemption story, it's all happening, and it's all going to boil down to his health. So let's all pray and hope that Marcus Smart continues to stay healthy, because this is the exact type of guard that the Lakers have always needed. And maybe if we go back in time, maybe there's some way that the Lakers would have ended up with him at number 7 and the Celtics didn't pick him. And this could have always been the journey. But you know what? No better time than now. Marcus Smart as a Laker chasing a championship to get back at his former Boston Celtics employers. I can't think of a better story than that. All right, with that said, that'll do it for this video. Please remember to like this video, comment down below, and most importantly, hit subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. This has been Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.